Hi everybody, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. Almost forgot for a minute there. Sorry, I was out cutting down a tree. Came in to do this. So shall we get to it? Let's get to it. Alright. We're going to start off with what's over on top. Issue 17 of the New Mutants. It's interesting. It's the basic idea. Well, here, let's do the people first. Writer is Vita Ayala. Artist Rod Rice. It's the New Mutants. So they're training the youth of Krakoa. See, Krakoa, an island, has become a sovereign state. All mutants are able to live forever. I mean, I think there's a resurrection process for something bad that might happen to you. And Danny, Moonstar, and Karma are on a mission to bring back one of their own. The only problem is, sometimes you'd rather just be where people don't judge you for the way you look, immortal or not. So he was in Otherworld, the Kingdom of Blood and Darkness, and he told them he would check in. But for now, it's kind of nice to walk down the street and not be stared at. So he has refused their... He looks like a genie, like the Blue Devil from DC Comics. He looks like him. So, and the Shadow King's back. He's supposedly on their side. I don't trust that fat bastard any farther than I could throw him. Everybody knows better. Alright, and let's switch it up to issue 6 of Dune, House Atreides. Yeah, it's Brian Herbert and Kevin Anderson wrote it, illustrated by Dev Pramanik, and it deals with the Bene Gesserits trying to make a Harkonnen baby, and it's just not going well for them. Harkonnens make terrible babies, apparently, except for Raban and, yeah, those guys. So it's interesting. We finally have Duncan Idaho show up to the Atreides household. I find it funny that every time they switch to a new place, let me see if I, they'll say, oh, now we are in Catan. They're literally using the font and the style from the David Lynch movies to show you where they're at. I'm like, that's an influence. So, because that's one of my favorite movies, so we'll see how the remake turns out for them. Oh, The Amazing Spider-Man! Curse of the Bad Thing! So there's 3 of these. The first one was, I think it's the Avengers and Curse of the Mad Thing, and this is Spider-Man, Curse of the Mad Thing, and the last one is going to be the X-Men. And it deals with them retelling the origin of how Ted Sallis discovered the formula, the supposed super soldier formula, and how he asked for a little demonic help. The Lizard's in it. Always good to see the Lizard, not Kirk Connors. Kirk Connors is in it too, don't get me wrong. But the Lizard is good. Captain America's in it, so good. Man-Thing's in it, so good. It's all good, except, yeah, he's something about a pact with the devil, and then at the very end, magic is in it. So, I don't know that I'm going to like this rewrite much by the time it's over. I'm not thinking I don't like you changing my origin stories. Perfectly good. Super soldier formula. Fell in the water, turned into a muck monster. How hard is that? Savage Avengers! Okay. I really thought they'd have canceled this by now. Writer Jerry Dugan, artist Patch. Patch? That's what it says. Zurcher. And it deals with a heist. Rhino's the muscle. Conan's the guy that's going to sneak in and steal the stuff. Spider-Man shows up. And Spider-Man and Conan fight. Conan thinks that Spider-Man is a wizard, and his superpower comes from his costume. His costume. So the whole time he's fighting him, he's shredding pieces of Spider-Man's costume. Yes, he tore the butt off of it, and Spidey had to web his butt closed. It sounded weirder than I thought. So yeah, Rhino's in it. It's good. Spidey, Conan. They fight. Apparently Conan still owns the Hellfire Club because he's like, it's mine, I'm taking it, no one's going to stop me. And no one did. And the bad guy, whatever his name is, Kulan Gath, Cool and Goth. Wow. That's right, people. I know my stuff. Resurrected one of the bad guys from earlier, and then we're going to get a giant thing with Conan and Ghost Rider next issue. So, yeah, it looks to be Johnny Blaze because there's a motorcycle. I don't see a car. So that would be Danny Kevich or something like that. Alright, so last week we had the last issue of Dejah Thoris, issue 12. We knew it was over. This is Winter's End. So it's a collection, which is not a beautiful cover, isn't that pretty? They both look awful pretty. I think it's Dan. Oh no, it's Linzer. Linzer's people always look actually real and funny. No, maybe not funny, but pretty. So we have 5 different stories in here. Winter's End, the prologue and the epilogue is written by Dan Abnett, who did the last series. It's illustrated by, oh Lord, Alessandro Miracolo. There's a Young Dejah, Young Carter story written and illustrated by Will Robson. Tars Tarkas and Sola have a story written by Jeff Parker, illustrated by Jonathan Lau. A John Carter story written by Nate Crosby, Jacob Edgar, illustrated by Jacob Edgar, so I got to do both. And Sabalthan, which is the bad lady from the whole Dejah Thoris series, written by Jeff Parker, you got Parker back, and illustrated by Jordi Perez. So it's a bunch of little stories that sort of deal with the whole aftermath of the war that we thought was over, and it's not over, by the way. It was fun to read. There's the thing they did with the woman. What was her name again? Nope. I'll just go back to the front and cheat. The devil woman there, Sabalthan. What happens to her is awful. And you're just hooray the entire time because she was awful in the series. She deserves everything she gets. And you think to yourself, okay, so that's it. They wrapped it up. They did an epilogue. So we're all done. You wish we were all done. Coming in July, Dejah Thoris versus John Carter of Mars. So Dan Abnett, again, back again, and Alessandro Miracolo. So what does he draw like? Because that's... Okay, so the beginning... Oh, yeah, I like his drawings. He does a very good job. So his artwork is very nice, and he'll be doing the new series. So it went from... Oh, there was a Dejah Thoris thing, and then another one, and then they did this, the last one, and then this is sort of a in-betweener thing to stick stuff in and finish stuff off, and then we're going to start off with a whole new series. So, very nice. I'm very happy with that. I did not check the thing. This would have been comic books for the week of...
April 28th.
April the 28th. See, what do I do without a camera person dandy? April the 28th comic books. I didn't look at next week's. Could be a lot, could be a little, who knows. A lot of stuff ended, so don't know, unless there's new stuff that I'm not aware of. So, Sophie, Fiona, it was nice to see her today. We went up and saw Nana, my mom. We had beef chop suey. We had cheesecake. We played outside and drove a golf cart around like we were maniacs out in the woods. They had such a good time, they cried because we had to leave. So, I will see you ladies later. If you're watching this, Grandpoo loves you, and I will see you on Wednesday for Comic Book Day, and we're going to take you out with us to go get some comic books. For the rest of you, go to your comic book store. Buy a comic book already. I've been telling you this every week. Good night.